Zambezi Sunrise really came into existence because of our experience, two of our trustees' experience working in different locations in Zambia. And it became apparent that, quite apart from them being a lot of great kids there were also a lot of very motivated, very talented teachers. They were just hugely under-resourced. We've got Grace, the head teacher at Nekachea. She founded the school 8 or 9 years ago. With 1 or 2 children, it's up to 300.
She's a really inspirational lady who has developed a school from just a couple of children and turned it into a school that's really thriving, and now she's really got learning and education at the heart of all her values, beliefs, and really inspires the team and has a very committed team to ensure that the school does really well. And she's constantly, looking at ways to better what's happening and the children at the heart of what she does. And she's unbelievable, but she just works too hard at the expense of probably her own health, but there's just not the resources for her to be able to do it without additional support, so she's lovely. And then at the other side, recently we met Kathy, who's the head at Linda Community School, a young, very inspirational head, devoted her life to helping others, and in choosing to work with this school, the reason we did decide was ultimately because of her as a person and what she does and her values and her beliefs.
When you're dealing with a country where only 1 in 4 children receives or completes a secondary education, getting someone into secondary education can be a transformative experience for them. But on a more simple level, even if they weren't to get into secondary education, to have a good grounding, obviously, in the essentials of primary education will serve them very well for life. And at the moment, there are example after example of people struggling simply because the resources aren't there. And if you provide the resources, you change the situation immediately.
Moses as well is another person who he does an extremely amazing service really to the community. I met him on my first trip to Zambia, and he was teaching at a school and also was teaching homework club. So it was a group of children, and at that stage the majority of those children weren't going to school, the group that he was targeting or the group that came. And these children are anything from age 2 to 15, 16, and he was trying to sort of develop and have this class where there was a class going on with limited resources, and last year we helped support the building for that. But he's a very young person, and his father died when he was quite young. He supports his mum. It's amazing the drive he's had, and all of this supporting the children, and he's now set up a preschool for young people in Linda Community, has been driven, and he's been able to do it himself. So there's not many young people that would be able to do that, and would do that free of charge and do that from the goodness of his own heart. There's a lovely a nun that we met, Sister Immaculata, and she took us out into the rural areas of Zambia and met some amazing people and volunteers who work on some empowerment projects with women. And she's an amazing lady. She really bubbly and great fun, and she really is working really hard and come up with some superb ideas, and bless her, she gets in this 4x4 and goes into some really windy, difficult, we can't even call them a road, but along these tracks. And sometimes, and even when we were there, the water was so high, we were sort of whether we would even actually get through it all.
As I always say to people, they're only one person removed from the people in those photographs. They know us often, and we know the people in the photographs. It's not always the case, because of course we've had huge support from people around the world who've never met us. But I would hope that they can see where the money's going. A huge thanks goes out to everyone who's supported Zambezi Sunrise. Whether you're someone who's attended one of our events, whether you're somebody who's come across us online, made a donation, whether you're somebody in one of the 15 countries who's offered us support and may never have met us, we're hugely grateful, and we're hugely grateful for your support going forward. Thank you.